Welcome back, Renegades. Today we're going to do the deck profile for Smoker and the OP09 meta. We also have a couple bonus gameplay videos with Red Purple Luffy and Blue Nami. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. If you like the content, your friends may as well. We'll also have the matches timestamped in the description. So let's get into it. Welcome back, Renegades. Today we're going to be doing the deck profile for OP02 Smoker and the OP09 meta. Smoker is a black 5 life leader, 5000 power, with the Navy type. With the ability Dawn 1, activate main once per turn. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 to their cost during this turn. Then if there's a character with a cost of 0 in play, this leader gains 1000 power during this turn. So we want to, with this deck, it's more of a control deck. We like to do cost reduction on our opponent's characters, getting them to 0 to give our leader 1000 power boost, and then finishing them off with some of our KO or trash abilities that we have in the deck. So let's get into it. We're running 4 copies of EBO1 Brook, the 3-drop 4000 power 1k counter. Has on play /1 attacking. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost for this turn. Then KO up to one of your opponent's 0 cost characters. So what's really cool about this guy is he's like double effect, so you can get him down, you get the effect. He synergizes with a lot of other cards in the deck, like cheating him out for free, recurring him, and then you can continuously use him as a removal effect as long to like clean up small things or combo it with other cards to take out threats as long as he stays on the field. And he's a 4k power, so you're gonna have to put some Dawn investment into him to make him like a good swing, and also a little bit extra counter to protect him. But great card, 4 of, no exception. Up next, we got T-Bone from EBO1. We're running 2 copies here. It's a 5-drop, 5000 power, 2k counter. It does have the Navy archetype, so on play, KO up to one of your opponents costs 2 or lower characters. This is good. It's just a 5k body, 2k counter, Navy type, so searchable. It synergizes with other cards. Sometimes you can't get your opponent's bigger characters down to 0, so getting them down to 2 might be a little bit easier, and Tebow can clean it up. 2 of, good card. Up next, we're running 3 copies of Kuzan from OP02. So Kuzan is a 4/5 with no counter. On play, draw 1 card. When attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters -4 to their cost during this turn. Great card to get that cost reduction down. Your opponent's going to try to remove this thing almost immediately, so make sure when you deploy him out, you have ways to protect him, either with your blocker or with some counter, because this guy's going to go the distance to help you get rid of those bigger characters. So we're running 3 because he doesn't have any counter, but great card. 2 copies here of Kobe from OP02. It has the Navy archetype, so kind of this one's more of a Navy build, where like Lucci plays more CP build. So that's kind of like the differential between the two like decks. One's more Navy, one's CP. They do share a lot of the similar cards though. All right, so this is Kobe, 3-drop 4000 power 1k counter with on play. You may trash 1 card from your hand. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost 3 or less. That's pretty good. It comes back. You can bring it back with Rebecca, with Gecko, to counter if you need it. It's so you kind of want him in the trash. So there's cards that want you to trash cards. So he's a good target for that. He's a 3/4, so 1 Dawn he becomes a swing. Good card. It's running 2. Up next, we're running 4 copies of Suru here from OP02. It's your standard black 2k counter. 1 drop, 0 power. On play, give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 to their cost during the turn. Pretty staple in black, just as a 2k. We're running 2 copies of Borsellino from OP02. 4/5, 1000 counter. Opponent's turn, this character gains 1000 power and cannot be KO'd by effects. It does have blocker and Navy. This card used to be a 4 of, like, no question. But a lot of cards are coming out where they don't need a KO to remove the character, so he's becoming less of a mandatory and more of just a good option. So we're running 2 copies here. Running 4 copies of Bernu from OP03. This is your searcher for the deck. 2-drop 3000 power, 1k counter. On play, look at the top 3 cards from of your deck, reveal up to one Navy other than Bernu, and add it to your hand. Trash the remaining cards. So this is just your searcher for the deck, trying to find maybe a 2K counter, maybe that missing Kuzan, an Ice Age, Tashigi. Just, pretty good card for searcher, which we're running four. Nothing really much more about it. We're running 4 copies of Rebecca from OP05. 4 drop, 0 power, 1K counter. Has blocker. On play, return up to 1 black character other than Rebecca with a cost of 3 to 7 from the trash to your hand. Then play 1 cost 3 or less black character from your hand to the field rested. This is a pretty good card. They run it in Lucci, Smoker. So, like I said, some of the cards do kind of go between the decks. So, very important with the black decks. Before you play Rebecca or anything like Gecko that's going to return characters to the field, make sure you do your leader effect, or make sure that you're doing your math correctly in order to maximize your KO power. There's a lot of times where I'll play out Rebecca, get my Brook back, and I forgot to use like Ice Age previously, because you can't like stop the once you start the Rebecca, you have to finish the effect. So it's like sometimes you just gotta be like, well, I can't play Rebecca, or I can't play Brook from Rebecca for free because I forgot to do Ice Age first, or I forgot to use my leader effect. So it's very important to make sure you do your plays properly. Take your time if needed. Like black is a big brainy deck. You've gotta play your cards in a certain order in order to make them work. And if your opponent is playing against you and they see you're running Smoker or Lucci, it's probably not their first rodeo. They know that you're going to take a little extra time thinking about plays. So don't feel rushed. Uh, Practice the deck. That's a major thing. Just practice it. There's a lot of lines of play, and you got to do them correctly. Up next, we got 4 copies of Gecko Moria from OP06. Like I said, no stranger to black decks. 8 drop, 9,000 power, no counter, on play. Choose up to 1 cost 4 or less, and up to 1 cost 2 or less characters from your trash. Play one of them, then play the remaining rested. So this one, like I said, everyone's familiar with it, but you can choose the order of what comes in rested and what comes in readied. So you can ready your cost 2 or less and rest your 4 or less if you wish to. The only time that's really relevant is if you're playing a 2-drop blocker out of trash. Not really important here, but just keynote about it. Good card, big body, no counter. Does get kind of bricky. Moving on, we're running 2 copies of the 7-drop, 8,000 power Jack from OP08. So this character is interesting because when he's on the field, he has +4 cost, making him an 11 cost, but you only play him out for 7. He doesn't have any counter, so he's really good into the mirror match, or just any black mirror match, I should say, because of, like, his high cost is 11. So they're gonna have to use a lot of resources to KO it, unless like they use like an Ice Age. Even then, they'd have to use like 2 Ice Age and something else just to get it to 0. So his ability is activate main. You may rest this card, draw 1 card, and trash 1 card from your hand. Then KO up to one of your opponent's cost 3 or lower characters. Card's good. It got real popular when it came out. It's a good statted body. So it doesn't have any counters. That's why we're only running 2 copies. It's really good into the black mirror. It's really bad into blue. Like, you would think that it'd be great into blue because of most of their characters are 4, so you can use leader effect and then use Jack. Which, in theory, yes. But reality is, you play Jack, they're gonna Red Rock almost immediately. And it's happened to me so many times where I'll play Jack down. Even if I get the ability off, they'll Red Rock me on their turn. And it feels bad. It feels real bad. But That's why we're running 2 copies. Up next, we're running 4 copies of TCG from Starter Deck 6. It's a 2K counter for us. It's a 3/4 with the ability to activate main. You may rest this character to give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 to their cost during this turn. When this first came out, this was amazing. Card helps so much. But as the game progresses, the cards get better. And this has just basically become a staple 2K. In my opinion. This is just a 2K for me. I I don't really play it out. If I do play it out, it's because I'm cheating it out. It's the only thing I have with a Rebecca, honestly. And it's a 3/4, so 1 Dawn I can make it a swinger if I needed. But yeah, when she came out, this was staple. Like you drop her down on your 3rd Dawn, and you'd have her sitting there ready to go. But with so much like removal and bounce, I just keep her as a 2K. Running 3 copies of Hina here from Starter Deck 6. This is a 3/5. It's a good stat. It doesn't have a counter. It does have the Navy tag, so that is relevant. And on play, give up to one of your opponent's characters -4 to their cost this turn. Hina is just a good like cost reduction. Being able to bring it back off Gecko if needed. Play it off the Rebecca. Searchable off Bernu. So if you want to cut this one down, I think you're fine. Alright, from Starter Deck 19. This is a thing. Starter Deck 19 is what gave Smoker back some viability as a leader. He was really overshadowed by Sakazuki until it got banned. Because, like, you had blue and black, which are arguably two of the most strongest colors in the game. And if you can combine them together, well, we all know how that went. But Starter Deck 19 gave us a Smoker starter deck. And this is one of the cards that came in and really gave Smoker some new legs to stand on. Sengoku. 1 drop, 1000 power, 1K counter. On play, you may trash 2 black Navy type cards from your hand. If your leader has the Navy type, draw 3 cards. So we check all the boxes. We have Navy. We have a lot of Navy characters. We like things in our discard pile, our trash. Sengoku is a great card for the deck, and it came in the starter deck, so not hard to acquire. But like I said, this is one of the cards that really gave Smoker some more legs to stand on for filtering, because we didn't really have a lot of filter, nor did we have a lot of draw. So we got both of those with Sengoku here. So we have 4 copies of Tashigi, Starter Deck 19. Another card, arguably the most important card from Starter Deck 19 for Smoker. 5 drop, 6000 power, 1K counter. On play, if your leader is Smoker, give up to one of your opponent's characters -4 cost for this turn. So it's a 5/6, which is good on its own. It has a 1K counter, so 5/6, 1K. Those are not bad. It has the Navy type, so it's searchable, it's filterable. Rebecca can bring it back, and it has the ability here, activate main once per turn. If it is the turn this character was played, place up to one of your opponent's cost 0 characters into its owner's trash. This card gets around Blackbeard, which was really important. And they did like a cycle of these where they activate main instead of using the straight on play. Now, granted, you won't get the on play for -4, but we have the next card, Ice Age. So we can team this up with Tashigi if needed to still get rid of a 5 cost, potentially 6 cost with Smoker. So we have Ice Age from OP02, 1 drop event. With the effect main, give up to one of your opponent's characters -5 to their cost during this turn. That's a huge cost reduction. Huge. Like turn 4, our 4 Dawn turn, you go Ice Age, Brook, and KO whatever they just played. Because even if they're on 5 Dawn, like, you just took care of it. They play out a Eustace Kid, we go Ice Age, Brook, thanks for skipping your turn. So, yeah, good card. 4 copies. That's the only event we're running. This is the deck profile for Smoker that I'm running in 09. We do have some gameplays coming out this week. I'm going to have a couple extra bonus games for you guys in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and let's get into some matches for you. So up first we have Smoker versus Red Purple Luffy. Opponent chose to go first. They're going to play out Nami, their searcher there. They're going to get a Sanji here from OP07, passing it back to us. 2 down here, we're going to play out Bernu, grabbing an Ice Age and passing it back. Opponent's going to go 6 into life with leader here. We're going to take this first hit. They're going to play out a Zorojoro, passing it back. 4 Dawn here. We're going to play out a Suru, giving -2 to the Zorojoro, and then Brook's going to finish it off. They're going to play out another Zorojoro here, adding 2 to their leader, going 8 into life here. We're going to take this hit as well. Back to us. We're going to put 1 on leader. We're going to use our leader effect here, giving the Nami -1. Playing out Tashigi, giving -3 to Zorojoro. And then we're going to trash the Zorojoro. We're going to swing with Brook just to get rid of the Nami. And now we have a 7k swing with our leader. We're going to pressure life. That's going to give us a 2k. They're just going to pass it back to them. They're going to play out their 7-drop Kid on play, and when attacking, give Dawn -1 to give their leader 2,000 till next turn. They're going to go 7 into the rested Brook here. Just going to give that to them. Back to us. Draw into an Ice Age. We're at 8 Dawn. We're going to put 1 on the leader. We're going to use Ice Age here, giving the Kid -5. Going to give it minus again with the leader, getting Rebecca. We're going to play out the Brook to get rid of it that way. Going to put 1 on our Tashigi, going 7 into life. Opponent's going to give us a counter, and now we're going to go 7 again, and they take this hit. Passing the turn back over to the opponent. They use their leader effect to draw an additional Dawn. They're going to go 6 into 4 here into the Brook. We're going to counter out and save it. They're going to play out the 9-drop Linlin. Using his on-play effect, they're going to gain a life, and Brook at the bottom of the life. Back to us. We're going to play out a 4-drop Kuzan here. We draw into a Kobe. We're trying to do some math. We're going to use Ice Age here to give -5. Give it an additional -1 with leader. Now we're going to play out Kobe using its on-play effect. We're going to trash a card here to get rid of that Linlin. Opponent scoops it up. Alright, last one here. We have Smoker versus Nami. Opponent chose to go first. They're going to play out a Kaya, drawing 2, trashing 2, and passing it back to us. We're going to get 2 Dawn here. We're going to play out a Bernu. We're going to grab a Tashigi, just passing it back to the opponent. Opponent's going to play down another Kaya, drawing 2, trashing 2. And they got 2 Dawn open, passing it back to us. 1 on leader. We're going to give Kaya -1. 3 on Bernu, just shipping 6 into life here. And then we got a 7k swing with leader. We got to counter out, putting the Kaya back in hand. We got 1 life off from that turn. Opponent's going to play out a Sanji's Pilaf, drawing 2 cards. They're going to go 5 into the Bernu. They're going to play out their Kaya again, drawing 2, trashing 2, and passing it back to us. We're going to play out a Sengoku here, just trashing a couple cards we don't need, drawing in some fresh ones. We're going to put 5 Dawn on leader, using its leader effect, and we're going to pressure 11 into life here. They have 1 open Dawn, so we should be able to get a life here. They're going to use some sort of a counter here, but they still end up taking the hit and passing it back to the opponent. I think it was just to get their deck size down. They're going to play down a Nami. It allows them to search for events when it attacks. Playing a Sanji's Pilaf, passing it back to us. We're going to put 1 on leader, using its effect, playing down Jack. And we're going to use Jack's effect just to get rid of that Nami. We're going to trash a card, draw a card. They just want to have another big body on field. We're going to pressure 7 into life here. They're going to use, what was that, Snake Dance, putting a Kaya back in hand, giving himself enough counter power. Passing back to the opponent. They're going to use Red Rock to put the Jack at the bottom of the deck. They're going to drop the Kaya, give it drawing 2, trashing 2, passing it back to us. They do play out another Nami. We're at 10 Dawn here. We're going to play out Rebecca. We're going to get that Brook. We're going to deploy the Brook off Rebecca effect, give the Nami -1 and popping it, using leader effect on the Kaya. We're going to play out a Bernu here. Grab a Tashigi. And with 3 Dawn, we're going to put on our leader. We're just going to pressure life 10 at 5. They're going to use a counter. They're up to 9. Then they take the hit. Back to the opponent. They're going to put 1 on leader. They're going to pressure the Bernu, or the Brook. We're going to save it because it's really good being able to clear up those little bodies. They're going to play out a Nojiko, putting Brook back in hand, passing it back to us. We draw into another Tashigi. We're going to put one on leader, using its effect. Play down the Tashigi just to get rid of the Nojiko. Pulling out a Brook, getting rid of another Kaya. Putting the last Dawn on leader. Going 8 into life here. They have a lot of open Dawn, so you're going to use White Snake again, giving it 9, going up to 9k, putting Kaya back in hand. Just pass it back to the opponent. They're going to play out the Kaya again, drawing 2, trashing 2, and passing it back. We need to get rid of the Kaya because that's cleaning their deck pretty good. Could put down the Brook just to get rid of the Kaya. I mean, we had a Brook on hand, or on the field already, but we're going to put 4 on our leader, and we're going to attack 9. We should have used the leader effect first before deploying Brook. They're going to use Overheat and another counter. 3 on Tashigi, pressuring 9 again. Love Mellow, drawing a card, they're at 9. And then they're going to use Deathwing to counter out. We just pass it back to the opponent. They're going to use Sanji's Pilaf. And they deploy Logetown. They can put this card and another card at the bottom of their deck to draw 2 cards. It's not bad. 6 into Tashigi here. We're going to give it a counter. Back to us. Opponent has 4 open Dawn. We're going to put 4 on Tashigi, and we're going to go 10 into 5. Looks like they're going to try to counter out of this hit. Up to 11. Put 3 on leader, then we're going to put 2 on Bernu, just try and get that last counter out of hand. And we'll put 1 on Brook, just going 5, because I'll have to take this. And then we have an 8k swing with our leader, depending on what they... Alright, so down to 0 life, 2 cards in hand. Using Sanji's Pilaf, they have 7 cards left in their deck. Playing Kaya, down to 5 cards left in deck. They're going to go 5 into Bernu. We're just going to counter. They're going to play out Boodle, which is a blocker, then KO. They trash the top card of their deck. We're going to put 1 on Brook, making a 5k. We're going to put 1 on leader, using leader effect to give Boodle -1. And then we're going to use Brook 5 into life and trashing that Boodle. Oh, they do trash top card of their deck. They do counter, go to 9. Kaya back in hand. We're going to put 8 onto Tashigi, going 14 into life here. They go 9, 11, and that's it. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Once again, if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. It helps the channel tremendously. As always, we'll see you in the next one.